As we grow older, something quietly begins to shift within us. Not just in our thoughts or our hearts, but deep in the muscles that have carried us through years of walking, running, lifting, kneeling, dancing, and standing tall. The legs, often taken for granted in youth, begin to whisper their stories. Some whisper gently through fatigue. Others cry out through aching joints or trembling steps. Balance begins to waver. Stairs look a bit steeper. Getting up from a chair feels like more of a task than it used to. But here's the truth. The body isn't giving up. It's simply asking for a little more care, a little more attention, and most importantly, better nourishment. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the body that's been loyal to you all these years. It's about giving it what it truly needs to continue doing what it was meant to do. Move, walk with steadiness, climb without fear, stand with confidence. And it all begins with the simplest of actions: what you put on your plate. We often look for complex solutions, expensive treatments, intense workouts. But sometimes the answers are much simpler. They sit right in your kitchen, hidden in plain sight. 6 foods. That's it, just 6. But these 6 have the power to strengthen your legs and help restore balance as you age. Not with magic, not overnight, but with time, with consistency, with love for your own body. Let's begin with the first one. A humble, often overlooked gift from the earth. Sweet potatoes. Not the trendiest food on the shelf, but one of the most powerful. Packed with complex carbohydrates, sweet potatoes provide a slow and steady source of energy. As you age, muscle function begins to decline, partly due to lack of fuel. Sweet potatoes help prevent that. They also carry potassium, a mineral that speaks directly to the heart of muscle performance. It supports nerve signals, eases cramps, and reduces that tight, stiff feeling in the legs. Every bite is like a gentle nudge toward motion, a whisper to your legs that says, "You've got this. Let's keep moving." Next comes the quiet strength of salmon. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, this fish goes beyond basic protein. It addresses inflammation. Inflammation is often the silent thief that robs your legs of strength. It creeps into the joints, stiffens the knees, slows your stride. But omega-3 works like a soft, steady rain over a dry field. It calms, it soothes. It allows space for strength to grow again. Not to mention, salmon brings with it vitamin D and B12, both vital in preventing muscle weakness and improving nerve health. When you eat salmon, you aren't just feeding your muscles, you're feeding your future steps. Then there's spinach, the quiet warrior of green foods. It doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to, because what it carries within its leaves speaks louder than any label. Magnesium, calcium, potassium, iron. All the things your legs cry out for when fatigue hits. Spinach fuels blood flow. It oxygenates the muscles. And that oxygen? It's life. It helps your legs endure longer walks. Get up faster from your seat. Stand without wobbling. And while many may scoff at greens, those who've made spinach a staple often notice the difference not just in their strength, but in their energy. Eggs come next. Simple, affordable, and unbelievably powerful. With high-quality protein and a full set of essential amino acids, eggs are like a construction crew for your muscles. Every time you eat an egg, you're helping repair, rebuild, and restore. But there's more. Eggs are also a source of choline, a nutrient that supports communication between your brain and your muscles. That's balance. That's coordination. That's being able to catch yourself before a stumble. Stand firm when the world around you shakes. Eggs don't just build strength. They build the communication lines that help you use that strength wisely. Let's move on to Greek yogurt. Tangy, thick, and rich in muscle-building protein. But more than that, it's packed with probiotics. And you may wonder, what do gut bacteria have to do with leg strength? The answer is everything. A healthy gut improves nutrient absorption. It ensures that all those minerals and vitamins you're eating are actually reaching your muscles. Greek yogurt helps you get the full value from every healthy bite you take. Plus, the calcium and phosphorus it carries support strong bones. And strong bones are the silent pillars behind every confident step. And finally, let's talk about bananas. Not for their taste, not for their convenience, but for the quiet miracle they carry. Potassium. One of the most crucial elements for muscle health. It helps prevent cramping. It supports nerve function, and it maintains electrolyte balance. Without enough potassium, even the strongest legs can falter. Bananas offer it in the most digestible form. Quick, easy, no preparation required, just peel and go. And sometimes, that's exactly what the body needs. A quick lift, a silent support system. Now imagine this. You begin your day with 2 boiled eggs. You follow with a smoothie that blends spinach, banana, and Greek yogurt. You enjoy grilled salmon with roasted sweet potatoes for lunch. You're not just eating, you're fueling, you're restoring, you're reclaiming your ability to move with strength and grace. Over time, these foods become more than just ingredients. They become companions on your journey. They help your body remember what it was once capable of. And remind it that strength doesn't belong to youth alone. It belongs to anyone willing to nourish it. Of course, food alone is not the full story. It works hand in hand with movement, with stretching, with rest. But without proper nourishment, movement becomes a struggle. Rest becomes restless. And the body slowly forgets what it's meant to do. These 6 foods are a way of reminding your legs that they still matter. That they're not just tools of the past. They're part of the present. They still have purpose, still have distance to cover, still have people to walk beside, places to explore, grandchildren to chase, gardens to tend, stages to stand on. There's something deeply emotional about losing your balance, about watching your legs grow weaker. It's not just physical. It feels like a loss of freedom, of dignity, of self. But food is one of the few things still within our control, and in that small control lies a big power. The power to change the trajectory of your aging, to decide, even now, how you want to feel in your body. We often think of food as comfort. And while that's not wrong, food is also strategy. Food is medicine. Food is love in action. Every time you choose one of these 6 foods, you're choosing to show up for yourself. You're choosing to say, I still matter. My strength still matters. My balance still matters. And perhaps most importantly, you're choosing to believe in your own ability to change. That's no small thing. In a world that often tells you to expect less from your body with every passing year, this is your quiet rebellion. You're saying no, not yet. I've still got places to go, and I'm going to get there on my own 2 feet. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking decline is inevitable, that the wobbly steps are just part of the package. But many case studies prove otherwise. Older adults who've made consistent dietary changes show noticeable improvements in mobility and leg strength within weeks. Research from institutions like Harvard and Mayo Clinic have echoed similar sentiments. Nutrient-dense foods, rich in antioxidants, protein, and anti-inflammatory properties, can delay or even reverse some age-related muscular decline. One study conducted with participants over the age of 60 showed that a diet high in omega-3 from fatty fish like salmon improved muscle protein synthesis by over 30%. Another showed that older adults with higher magnesium intake from leafy greens like spinach performed significantly better in balance and leg endurance tests. The data is clear. The science supports what the soul already knows. The body responds to love, especially the kind of love that shows up consistently, on the plate, in the pantry, at the grocery store. This isn't about perfection. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. It starts with one simple choice, one small change, one new habit. Maybe you start with eggs at breakfast instead of toast. Maybe you add a handful of spinach to your sandwich. Maybe you grill salmon once a week. It doesn't have to be all at once. The goal is not to rush. The goal is to build steadily, mindfully, with awareness and intention. As you walk this path, you'll start to feel the difference. Not just in your legs, but in your posture, your breath, your sleep, your mindset. Because when your body begins to feel stronger, your spirit follows. You stop worrying so much about falling. You begin to trust your steps again. And there's freedom in that. Profound freedom. So let this be more than just a list of foods. Let it be a quiet revolution, a slow but steady return to the strength that always lived inside you. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. You're not broken. You're simply being asked to nourish the parts of you that have carried the weight for so long. And they are ready to rise again. Sweet potatoes, salmon, spinach, eggs, Greek yogurt, bananas, 6 foods, 1 body, and a future that still has steps left to take. Choose your strength, 1 bite at a time.